Welcome, everybody, to this new episode of Spanish Loops. Hello, Jorge.
Hello. I was
How?
pretending I was in heaven just making signs in case you saw me.
Okay, let's get some music, please.
Yeah, okay, let's get some music.
Jorge, calm down to earth, please. What is going on with you today?
Well, I am very proud of what we're going to talk about today, which is Madrid and heaven.
Well. Today we're going to heaven, or as
Yeah.
close as you can get to heaven in Spain. At least out of
Mm.
the you people from Madrid, you say. There's a big sentence in Spain that it says, de Madrid al cielo, from
Hmm.
Madrid to heaven.
Hmm.
Don't you have a little bit of an ego there?
Now that you mention, it might be true. Yeah.
Uh, it's like, excuse me. Well, everybody, welcome to this new episode of Spanish Loops. This is
Yeah.
Francisco Claria from Traveling the Steps. And on
And
the
this
other
is
side,
Jorge Roman from travelingwithjorge.com.
welcome one more week to our Spanish Loops podcast.
Yes,
So, yes, from Madrid to heaven.
to happen.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I love Madrid. You know how much I love you where you live. Madrid is, yes, it's the capital city of Spain, and it is
Hmm.
a welcoming city. It's a city that it's beautiful. You have architecture, you have art, you have museums, you have gardens, you have everything in the
Parks,
city.
architecture, uh, heritage, a lot of
You
things. Yeah.
name it.
Yeah.
And beyond that, the people in Madrid are super welcoming, are
Yeah.
friendly, are welcoming. Although it's a very large city, really, it is a homey city. It feels very homey. You feel
Hmm.
very welcome in that city.
Yeah.
And the city of Madrid has a very close connection with heaven, stellars, and the whole thing. Because the main plaza is called Plaza del Sol,
Puerta
right?
del Sol.
Puerta del Sol, the gate to the sun.
The gate to, yeah, the gate to the sun, gate of the sun. Yeah. Yeah.
Why do we have a name Gate of the Sun or Gate to the Sun?
Well, we have to get a little bit into history, Francisco, if you allow me, because that expression is not modern. Actually, has a few centuries. We have to. There is many theories, many legends, and some of them might make sense to our listeners. Some of them make sense historically, and well, we have to say that that's from Madrid to heaven, like you well said in Spanish, de Madrid al Cielo is one of the most famous and I would say cherished expressions associated with the Spanish capital. It is more than just a saying. It just has a deep sense of admiration for the city, implying that once someone has experienced the city, Madrid, the only place left to go is heaven. Now you might wonder, okay, but where did this phrase come from? Well, it became so deeply embedded in the identity of Madrid and its people that it truly, to truly understand the significance of that, we have to explore the legends. And one of them says that it emerged from the splendor of Spain during its most glorious period, which was called the Golden Age. In Spanish, Siglo de Oro. Okay? So, um, one of the possible origins could be that there's a few compelling stories that attempt to trace its roots, and one of the most popular interpretations suggests that the phrase is a fragment of a longer saying. Listen to this. This is very romantic, and I love it.
Okay.
From Madrid to heaven, and once in heaven, a little hole to keep watching it. Isn't it
Oh,
cute?
you people from Madrid.
Well, that means that Madrid is so beautiful, so full of life that even after death, one would want to continue gazing upon it from the afterlife.
Of
Francisco, come on.
course, we need to see it. Yes.
There is another legend that attributes the same to the King Charles III that ruled in the 1700s, in the second half of the 1700s, often called the best mayor of Europe, sorry, the best mayor of Madrid, okay? Because, excuse me, due to the extensive urban reforms that he made, uh, he was called just the best mayor of Madrid. Let's not forget that the King Charles III was a king before being the monarch of Spain. Okay, he has to resign to the kingdom of a territory in what today is Italy, and became the king of Spain. And Charles III, that was his name, he transformed the entire city into a cleaner, more organized, improved the roads, better sanitation, and it makes all the plazas and buildings more beautiful. Many people believe because of the city flourished, people began to express their admiration with the phrase meaning that after experiencing Madrid, nothing else on earth could
It's good
compare,
enough.
only heaven itself.
Well, I mean, yes, yes. I mean, I love Madrid and it's incredible. When Charles III, the King of Spain, really made all of these advances on all of these improvements in the city. But what makes Madrid so special? What is the reason why we have this sentence?
Well, and also, we have to refer to answer your question, Francisco. We have to refer to another of those legends, if you want to call them like that, which is that okay, I mean, the transformation of into the capital of Spain was a central hub of an empire that stretched across the whole globe. Let's not forget that the crown of Castilla at the time was the very first global empire. Before Madrid was chosen as a capital in 1561 by a king, then the second of the Habsburgs, Philip II, Spanish royalty has they had several royal residencies. It was like Toledo and then Valladolid. But however, Philip II saw Madrid's central location as a very strategic advantage, and he officially established the city as the seat of the Spanish monarchy. So Madrid, from that moment, second of the Habsburgs, grew into a city of political intrigue, cultural innovation, and economic prosperity. I mean, the main square, Plaza Mayor, is one of the most iconic landmarks of Madrid, and it was built during that time. And it became a focal point for celebration, markets, public gatherings, and also, don't forget, Francisco, that where the royalty is, everything goes there: the nobility, artists, writers, intellectuals. All that led into an explosion of literature, theater, painting. Don't forget that Miguel de Cervantes, the author of the famous Don Quixote de la Mancha, lived here in Madrid in that time, times of Philip II. Then Velázquez, the author of Las Meninas, Lope de Vega, another one of the famous classic writers of Spain, and also Francisco de Quevedo turned Madrid into the cultural capital of the world.
Oh, then it has always kept that magic or that attraction for all the arts. I mean, really later, Goya lived in Madrid,
Hmm.
following the crown. Uh, Everybody lived, and when well, much more modern times, when Franco settled in Madrid. I mean, he was his capital of Spain was
Yeah.
Madrid, and when Franco died, the big cultural explosion called La Movida, it started everything in Madrid. So
Yep.
really, Madrid being so centrally located in the peninsula,
Hmm.
it attracts everybody from everywhere around. So the arts, the culture, everything was and still is in Madrid.
Of course it is. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are. I mean, we have a big problem nowadays that we have talked about it in some of our podcasts, which is the immigration. Okay,
Mhm.
we need hand labor, like many other countries around the world, and of course it needs to be regulated somehow. But anyway, Madrid is the hub to enter Spain. And then once they are here, they might
Okay.
remain here. Don't forget that being the capital, most of the international corporations, they are based here in the capital city. So obviously it's like a magnet for all the people that wants to find a better life. And also it's also the getaway for those who wants to go into any other countries in Europe. But historically, Francisco, we have to think about one thing, that Central and South America, with the exception of Brazil, we share one thing in common, which is the language.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might have the local expressions in here and there that it might depends how you say local slangs. It could mean one thing or another. Some things good things, some things not so good things. You have to be very careful, right?
Yes.
But anyway, it's a common language, and believe it or not, it's almost 500 million people nowadays that they speak Spanish as a mother tongue. So that is one of the, I would say, attractions
For the city.
yeah on the coming people to the city. Now, one of the things I just want to mention as well is that, uh, and let me get back again a little bit on time, okay?
Okay.
Because of that power that Madrid had, it was not only political but also military, okay? Don't forget that the Habsburgs was the most powerful family in the whole world at the time. We're talking about the 16 and 1700s. No, sorry, 15 and 1600s. Okay, 1700s was when the Bourbons came into. So at the in the golden age, at the height of the golden age, Spain was the dominant force in Europe. And as I said, under the Habsburg dynasty, don't forget Charles the First of Spain and Fifth of Germany, he became the Holy Roman Emperor. And with his son, Philip II, Spain controlled territories including the Netherlands, part of Italy, Portugal, enormous colonial empire in the Americas, and also in Asia. The Spanish Armada, the famous Spanish Armada, despite its eventual defeat in 1588, by the British or to the British,
Oh, that was a
symbolized.
mistake. That was a little
Yeah,
bump in
yeah, but
the road.
that could be another topic for another podcast. Okay, that symbolized Spain as a naval supremacy for much of that period of time. And well, it was crucial in the political decisions that they were made. The city in those days housed what it was called the Royal Alcazar, which is the predecessor of what today is the Royal Palace, and became the meeting place of courtiers, ambassadors, and ruling from across Europe. And I think that the prestige of Madrid in this time may have led people to view it as a city with so magnificence that only heaven could surpass it. Again, the word heaven.
Oh, well, yes, we can see that Madrid has so much greatness and the grandeur of the city of Madrid. It's incredible. So big that even in the flag, you have a bunch of stars,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's correct. Yeah. Yeah. Look, the flag of Madrid, just imagine like I mean, I don't intend here to insult the flag of the autonomous region of Madrid, but just picture yourself like a big tablecloth, rectangular, okay, and then it's like a red, but it's not the bright red. It's a little bit going to, I would say, what color would you say, Francisco? Red what?
It's a deeper red,
Yeah.
maybe like a blood red. It's not as bright as the Spanish.
Blood red, yeah, that's a good one. Thank you. And well, actually, that has a symbolicism, which is the color of the soil in Castilla, the old kingdom of Castilla. Okay,
Okay.
so then you have the shield in the center, and in the shield in the center you have seven stars. Inside the shield you have a bear, and by the bear there is a madroño tree.
Okay.
Madroño, I think that the botanical name is Arbustus. I'm not quite sure about that. My botanics is not my specialty, okay? But anyway, it's a kind of a sour cherry. And we
Okay.
know that bears have a sweet tooth. So what happens, one of the legends says that, okay, those the bear symbolizes the power. The tree symbolizes the population. And if you see the size of the tree and the size of the bear in that shield or the flag, it's a little bit distorted. The bear is far too big for a tree, okay? Well, those stars, 7 stars, okay, 7 stars are those stars that composes the Big Bear constellation.
Okay.
And how do we say in Spanish the Big Bear constellation?
Osa Mayor.
La Osa Mayor. But Osa is a feminine attribute, or,
Name.
yeah, it's a bear, it's a girl bear.
Mhm.
So if we refer to male bear,
El
it would be Oso.
Oso Mayor.
Exactly. But no, we call it Osa.
Mhm.
So some people say that that is a girl bear or a bear girl, however you want to call it. All right. So
Okay.
representing the 7 stars of the Big Bear constellation, you have to look straight up to look at it. So there's another of the myths that says that from Madrid to the heaven I was reflected on the flag of the province, today region of Madrid.
Okay, so it's a red flag with 7 stars. That is the coat of arms, which reflects again heaven, the constellations.
That's right. Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if it's true or not. I read that, well, we have just had a huge remodelation in Puerta del Sol, the main plaza in Spain, the center of Spain, and where you find the sculpture of the oso and the matrimonio, the bear and the bush. And there's also a statue of the king we've been talking about, Carlos III, Charles
Yeah.
III,
That's
Charles IV.
right. Yeah.
And what I'm not quite sure, it's the statue is in a little pool, little pond, and it has some lights underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And I've read that the stars are randomly they're scattered, but they're not just random. What they represent is the Osa Mayor, all the constellations.
Mm-hmm. That's what
So,
the intention of the last renovation that they made. That's right.
so
Yeah.
it's true.
Mm.
Okay,
Well,
I
it
didn't.
is
I
true.
was not quite sure about it.
At least it follows the legend. Okay.
Okay, so we suppose it's true. That's what the intention was, to make it true.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So really, from Madrid to heaven,
Mm-hmm.
what a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city. That, to me, the best way to discover Madrid, it is, yes, of course, with you, Jorge. On your website, travelingwithjorge.com, you
Yeah.
offer to me one of the most special tours to understand the core of a country, which is Madrid and imperial cities, where you're based for one whole week. How many nights do you have
No,
on that tour?
in total is 10 days, 9
10
nights.
days,
And
nine
yes, we are
nights.
based in Madrid. And then from Madrid, we move around. We stay one day in the city, one day out, one day in the city, one day out. But we always come back to Madrid to sleep at the same place. Yeah.
So, is there a better place to discover a city than in a staycation? I don't think so. Well,
Well,
yes, there's one
and
way to make it
going
better
to that grandness of
of
or
Madrid.
the empire. I have there to call the tour Madrid at Imperial Cities, because we got to Toledo, we got to Segovia, we got to Avila, we got to Salamanca. I mean, royal places that they were royal places, but now the court city is Madrid, of course. Yeah.
So, if anybody wants to learn about this tour, get a hold of Jorge. He get his website, send us a DM so Jorge can answer you about this fantastic tour that is going to take place in Madrid, and then the excursions back and forth, which is an amazing, amazing, amazing tour. So,
Thank you, Francisco.
Jorge,
And if anyone wants to share, if you've been in Madrid already, and if you want to share photos of the city, and I know that the statue of the bear in Puerta del Sol is a target for all tourists that they want to take a photo with that. If you want to share it with us, our email is SpanishLoops@gmail.com. Share, give a thumb up, subscribe to our channel. This is just incredible help that you could give us, and it is for free. Still clicking in your mouse, still for free.
it's still for free. There we go. Jorge, thank you for enlightening us. I cannot wait to go back to Madrid and be as close in heaven as Anybody can do it. Because walking in Madrid, as we have learned, it's almost being in heaven.
True. Yeah.
Thank you
so much.
so much.
You're welcome.
To our listeners, hopefully you have enjoyed today's topic, Madrid, from Madrid to heaven. And we hope we can see you next week.
We will see you next week, definitely. Francisco,
have a great
thank
week,
you.
everybody. Adios,
Bye.
amigos.
And as usual, we want to thank all our listeners for being there every week, letting us sharing our talks. Follow us in Spanish Loops in Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite platform.
And in Instagram, you can find us as the Spanish Loops Podcast, no spaces, all together. If you want to find us the quickest way, just Google Spanish Loops Podcast and you will find us. Hasta la vista, amigos.
See you next week.